Hey guys, welcome to our Azure Learning YouTube channel. In this video, we're gonna discuss about what is the usage of VPN or how we can set up. That is what we're gonna do in this video. In addition to that, I just tried to make it as a series. So I planned this for 3 videos. This is the part 1 video. So in this video, we're completely gonna discuss about the introduction things, about the VPN, why VPN, and about the steps we're gonna discuss today. In that next video, you would see the practical part. Okay, first of all, why VPN? Virtual private network. Why we supposed to use? See, we are into the network. Okay, we are into the network. So inside the network, multiple resources are there. For example, 2 virtual machines. Okay, so 2 virtual machines are there. If this 2 virtual machine should communicate privately in the sense they can use their endpoints, their private endpoints. Generally, private endpoints for these internal network communication, right? So using the private endpoint, they can communicate each other. The communication flow would smooth. There is no internet connection required. Okay, this is the healthy connection, which is fine. My virtual machine on-prem. My virtual machine is on-prem. Okay, this is outside the network. Okay, generally, if you're having one more network on Azure Cloud, you can do the peering and the virtual machine can communicate. That is fine. Okay. But in my case, if this is on-prem server, this is on another cloud. In that case, how this VM would communicate privately? So for that, we're gonna set up this VPN. We're gonna set up this VPN. Via this VPN, what it would do is it would switch its IP. It would switch its IP. Okay. Generally, this virtual machine, the on-prem virtual machine using one public endpoint. Okay. So that public endpoint, generally from the outside the network. Okay. Using that public endpoint, we couldn't access inside the network as privately. So for that, what this VPN would do is this VPN had one public IP. Okay, it would completely change your request from that public IP to this one, and it would allows you to communicate privately inside the network using this virtual machine. Sorry, this VPN's private IP. Okay, fine. So how we can set up this on Azure? That's what we're going to discuss today. And see, this is the cloud resource. This is the cloud resource instance. Actually, it's your on-prem resource. Okay, in that on-prem resource, you just enabling the actually this is not clear, so I'll put the diagram for you. So this is the on-prem server. Hmm. Virtual machine. Okay, just consider this as the on-prem server. This is on-prem. Okay, so this one is belongs to one particular on-premises network. Okay, this is belongs to one particular on-premises network. Okay, and we have to define the CIDR range. If we are setting up the on-prem server, we need to set the network CIDR range. So the CIDR ranges, I'm just taking class A, 10.0.0.0/16 I'm taking. Okay. Okay, let me zoom this font. Okay, so this is my on-prem server, which is belongs to an on-premises network, which is fine. Okay, I supposed to connect to my Azure Cloud VM privately. I'm going to um, connect to my Azure VM. Okay, my Azure VM also belongs to the another network. Okay, this is my Azure VM. Azure VM. And this has one CIDR range. This VM also belongs to one particular network. That virtual machine, that virtual machine has the CIDR range 192.168.0.0/16. Okay. And one more important thing, the IP should not overlap here. Okay, if it's overlapping in the sense, the routing won't go smoothly. Okay, you couldn't do the routing. Hmm. Okay, so the networks and all we set up. How we can enable the VPN setup? So here, two important things we need. Local network gateway and then virtual network gateway. So this two we need to set up. So the local network gateway. Yeah. So the local network gateway we need to set up. Okay, which is to connect your on-prem server to on-prem network to here. Okay, so to connect your Azure VM in the sense, we should create Azure virtual network gateway. Azure's virtual network gateway. Okay, this we need to use. And then what we supposed to do is we need to establish the tunnel. Okay, generally this Azure virtual network uh, would takes 30 to 40 minutes. The creation time. Okay, the creation time generally it would take 30 to 40 minutes. Mm. Connection. Okay, I'm just taking this example icon. Mm. The connectivity happen on this one only. Okay, so we established the connectivity. That is fine. After that, what we supposed to do inside the on-premise, we need to connect this connection with the IKE. IKE in the sense it's a kind of a credential. That credential we need to update it into the on-prem server. And then only your VM would connect it into this VPN. And then only your your VM can access this one. But before that, here we need to add the static routing. And then we need to enable the static routing. Okay. So after you enabled the static routing in your on-prem server, and then only you can access this VM via privately. Okay. So so for that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna set up the network. Inside the network, we're gonna set up one on-prem server. At the same time, we're gonna create one more network in Azure. That CIDR ranges 192.168.0.0/16. And this is my Azure VM. And we just connecting our Azure VM with this virtual network gateway. This would take around half an hour of time for the creation. Local network gateway would come in within 3 to 4 minutes. Okay, so local network gateway is for on-prem. Virtual network gateway is to connect the virtual network which you're having in the Azure. And then we establishing the connectivity using the connection. Okay, in that connection, we need to define this one and this one. Okay, at the time of enabling connection, we need to set one key. Okay, so that key we need to update inside of this VM. And then only your VM would be a part of this VPN. Okay, this can access this one via VPN. Okay. In addition to that, to do the proper routing, we need to enable the static routing inside of this virtual machine. Okay. In that static routing, we need to define the network CIDR range. That's it. Okay. The Azure network CIDR range, and then only this VM request would go to here. Okay. So this is the way to define the VPN setup. This one we'll see practically into the next part. And then thank you all. Bye bye. See you in the part 2 video.